Hey, David Judge here, and today we're going to talk about how long it should take to integrate a VA into my business. Now, we're going to look at this from a few totally different angles and really break down the different areas you should be focusing on and include a few tips on the best way to achieve that throughout the whole process as we're talking. Okay, so moving on. In some ways, when you employ a person, the length of time it takes to integrate them into your business completely is similar to asking how long is a piece of string, as every business is different, and while a lot of tasks may overlap, there will always be a few little unique tasks that you'll take time for your outsourcer to pick up. Now, with that in mind, you can actually fairly quickly tell if a person is going to be there for the long haul based on their first few weeks of actually working with you. And while these actual first couple of weeks will help gauge if they feel like a good fit for your business, in order to integrate a person fully within the shortest period of time, there are actually a few rules that you need to follow. So let's jump right in, and we're going to touch on those rules and discuss each one in a little more detail, and I'll include a few little tips as we go through at the same time. Okay, rule number one. Rule number one is to outline the tasks and processes you would like the outsourcer to learn in advance. Now, in the early days, I was aware of this, but I never actually enforced this rule, and as a result, I actually had a lot of issues with clients not feeling as if they were getting value from their VA. I actually ended up changing my process, and the second that I changed it, it was a total flip around, and the business was not only felt like they're getting value, they also had a plan to follow up on the tasks that were actually outsourcing. And that leads me into rule number two. Investing time at the beginning to train your new team member. Now, this is actually the same as getting a new team member locally, where you do actually need to invest a little bit of time to help them to understand your business. Now, you can invest the time personally, or have one of your existing team actually do it for you. Now, this will also help flag any gaps that they may have in their knowledge, allowing you to nip them in the bud straight away and then correct them before they become bad habits. Now, if you follow the first rule, this actually makes the stage really easy to set up, as the first rule will help you to have a plan of attack, if you were to call it, to follow. Okay, the third rule, set up a progress checkpoints to follow along the way. Now, this actually means that it's a lot easier for you to set up and understand your VA's progress, and gives you the ability to help a VA feel like they're making progress within the integration of your own business. Now, the way I handle this rule is to set up weekly goals and objectives outlining tasks to complete along with the overall purpose of the task. And I actually use Google Drive to do this, and at the beginning of a new week, we look at the previous week, reflect on the tasks that weren't completed and why. At this stage, we can actually flag any issues, and we also discuss any tasks that weren't up to scratch and what we're going to do about them. And finally, we actually congratulate them on the tasks that were completed well and use those as a guide for what we're going to do with the next steps of those tasks. Now, rule four, communicate. Lack of communication ends marriages, starts wars, and can prevent your VA from reaching their full potential. In that order, it's really important, especially at the beginning, that you actually over communicate to ensure your outsourcer is integrating well within your business. Now, this can actually be via email, instant message services like Skype, or my personal favorite, talking to each other. Now, you can actually talk to your VA again by using Skype, and if you're really tricky, you can add credit to your account and add a local phone number within your local area, and you can ring them up from your mobile or from your landline whenever you're on the go. So, you know what, guys, we're not in the 50s anymore, so it is okay to openly communicate. Okay, finally, rule number 5 is to correct and adjust, and to correct and adjust. Now, if you're not getting the results you want after the first few efforts, you can throw your hands up in the air and run off crying with your thumb in your mouth, or you can actually look at the result that you're getting and adjust what you're doing to suit the integration of your VA. Now, there will be times where you may need to change small parts of how your actual business works to fully integrate that person into your business. And I have to admit that I've actually had many instances of clients that have gone through this process with the actual correct and adjust process, and it's actually helped their business to go to the next level in so many ways, like indirectly or directly. And what this is actually as a result of is correcting and adjusting how they do business, and times it can be the introduction of new technology that really helps them rule and take it again, like I said, to the next level. Okay, so that's it, nice and easy. 5 rules to follow, and based on the use of those 5 rules, I found it takes around about 2 weeks for you to fully understand if a person will be able to integrate into your business, which you call like that gut feeling, and about 4 weeks in total to integrate about 80% of the basic tasks that you want them to perform in your business. Okay, excellent. Let's wrap up. In the next session, we're going to talk about work hours, holidays, and with your VA. Now, what holidays are there? What time should you be getting them to start off every morning? And the best hours for your VA to work within your business. Now, if you have a question that you would like me to answer, make sure you get in contact with me, and I would love to hear from you. As always, this is David Judge talking outsourcing and showing businesses how to work smarter.